Welcome back to the World Cleanup Day show, coming to you live from Tallinn in Estonia. It is now coming up to 10 a.m. local time. There's a beautiful aerial shot of the capital of Estonia, Tallinn, the city we're in now. I'm in the Call and Media Centre. Hello, everybody. Hi. Yay. As they wake up more and more, they get louder and louder as the day goes on. The party will really start later on. This is an incredible day. It really is truly a momentous movement. We reckon we will have similar numbers to last year, possibly more. 19 million people have registered to take part in the World Cleanup Day 2024. 120 countries taking part right across the globe. We can see the map on the screen now of the countries who have already participated, who are cleaning as we speak, or who have cleaned this morning. As you can see, we talk to Australia, we talk to Kazakhstan, we have people in Europe cleaning, and now as the time zones, people wake up across the world, we'll be checking in with the rest of the world, the other continents, throughout the day. We'll be here with you live, checking in with the countries, their leaders, about how things are going. And don't forget, the reason we're all here is to do something small, which seems like something small in each individual place, but gathering it all together, focusing on it one day, makes it something big, something enormous. When you think of just one thing that each person does, when you add all that together, the difference that it can make. And that's how this started, because here in Estonia, they came out for a national day of cleaning, and they wanted to make their country, which already was beautiful, they wanted to make it more beautiful and tackle some of the hot spots when it came to litter and pollution and people dumping their waste. That was so successful that in 2018, the small little nation of Estonia, with a population of just 1 million people, wanted to give a gift to the world. And that gift was the World Cleanup Day. So they took something that was national and they made it international. And the National Cleanup Day became the World Cleanup Day. In a moment, we will be heading to Norway, where we're going to switch our broadcast for the next hour. And there's a very special reason for that, because this year is a landmark for the World Cleanup Day, because for the first time it is being recognized on the UN calendar. So in the city of Tromsø in Norway, the UN Habitat are hosting a conference especially for the World Cleanup Day. Heidi Solba, the head of the network and the president of Let's Do It World, is there, and we can now cross over. We'll talk to you in an hour from Estonia, but for the moment we'll cross over live now to Norway. Now this is the feed that we are getting from Norway. As you can see, World Cleanup Day is on the screen. They are just about to begin their conference. They're waiting for our signal, and I think we have a small bit of a delay between here and Norway. So we're waiting for them to begin. And now I see yes, over to them in Norway. Okay, we are just waiting for a moment to get our audio feed from our friends in Norway. You could see the pictures there, as we are seeing as well, from our friends at the United Nations crew who are helping to facilitate that broadcast and link to Norway. They're just starting their UN Habitat Conference. This conference has been held especially in honour of the World Cleanup Day because this year is the first year that it's on the UN calendar. And I was talking to one of her helpers earlier on, to Ingrid, and I was asking her, well, what does that mean to be on the UN calendar? What difference does that make? And she was explaining that it really cements the day as a day of importance across the entire world, because so much is its significance and the impact that it has had so far that the United Nations are recognizing it as a day to remember every year and officially have in their calendar. And that also means other things like they will support it with resources, possibly finances as well, and they will help mobilize their teams right around the world, the huge network that the United Nations is, in helping to spread it and grow it even larger and larger and raising more awareness. So that is why this is very significant, and we're celebrating this by linking to Norway, and that is why the UN Habitat are hosting this conference where Heidi Solba, the head of the network and the president of Let's Do It World, will be speaking in a little while. There are a number of speakers scheduled to go before Heidi. One of them was on the screen there you just saw, but we might just see if we have the link now on our screen. I'm looking at a monitor down here. We could see the pictures like you, but we couldn't hear the audio. So I think I've been told that we're still trying to fix the audio. If not, the party will continue here in Estonia, and we'll take you for a tour around the old town, and we'll show you the gorgeous sights. Freedom Square here right beside us. We'll go through the cobblestones, the narrow streets of the old city, show you all the real heart of Estonia. And by the way, we've been broadcasting here for the last couple of years since we started in 2018. I'm from Ireland, but I live in Rome in Italy, and Estonia, and I'm not doing a side gig here for Tourism Estonia, but it has to be one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to. You have the nature, the saunas, you have the bay, you can get a ship right over to Helsinki, it's only 80 kilometers away. You've got St. Petersburg a couple of 100 kilometers one way, Riga, Latvia the other way, Stockholm, Sweden in another direction. It's a beautifully centered location here on the Baltic Sea. So if you're thinking of somewhere to go for a nice little visit, I know a lot of hen parties and stag parties come here to Estonia. Well, I think Tallinn, the city of Tallinn, is the place to be. And because it's so small, only 1 million people, you've got their neighbors, Lithuania and Latvia. You can go to Vilnius in Lithuania, or you can go to Riga in Latvia. That's a side note if you're thinking of somewhere to go. Okay, my bit for Tourism Estonia is done, and I'm told now that we have the audio problem fixed and we can now cross once again live to Norway.
Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Cecilia Lind, CEO of the Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, once again, great appreciation and gratitude to the city of Tromsø for hosting us here in the beautiful city, to the Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund and Grid Arendal for their generous support and for co-hosting this important first ever event. It is the inaugural one, and in many ways it will put the bar at a certain level, and we are very happy to see that happening in front of our eyes. We see the World Cleanup Day as an opportunity to not only focus our attention to the issue of cleanup and waste management, but also as a uniting factor, uniting people across the globe in a collective effort to make our planet cleaner and more sustainable. So thanks to all of you for joining us at that pivotal moment that we hope will define our activism and our way of addressing this important challenge. We gather here not just to clean, but to take a firm stand against one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time, the global waste crisis. Each year, the world produces over 2 billion tons of waste, with 75% of that waste being municipal solid waste. Startlingly, 2 billion people still lack access to basic waste management services, while 3 billion people rely solely on dumping their waste in open landfills. This has grave consequences, not only for our environment, but also for public health and the quality of life, particularly in vulnerable communities. World Cleanup Day is therefore about removing waste from our surroundings. It is a powerful reminder of our collective responsibility to protect the environment. And this year's theme, Arctic Cities and Marine Litter, underscores the unique challenges faced by the Arctic cities like Tromsø. And we had a wonderful discussion just before this opening ceremony with the Honorable Mayor about the particular situation here in Norway, in Tromsø, but also the experience sharing that is happening among the different Arctic cities that Tromsø has been so actively involved with. It underscores the unique challenges faced by the Arctic cities and the cooperation also in that context. And we certainly are committed as UN Habitat to support also this cooperation among the Arctic cities and seeing how best we can support and multiply the good work that is already happening. Despite the geographical isolation, remote and fragile ecosystems such as those in the Arctic are highly affected by waste mismanagement and marine litter, often originating from places very distant from your own urban areas. This is indeed a stark example of how interconnected our world is, and what we do in one part of the world affects the most remote corners of the earth. You, as we earlier mentioned, often are on the receiving end of something which happens hundreds of miles away. And of course, you have to deal with the consequences of poor waste management or other challenges that you have little influence of. And that's why this global cooperation and global initiatives like the World Cleanup Day is so important, and your involvement is indeed very pivotal and meaningful. It's only natural that you have joined this particular movement. As the Arctic faces mounting challenges due to climate change, melting ice caps, and rising sea levels, the impact of waste and pollution further exacerbates this situation. Cities like Tromsø are crucial in raising awareness of these issues and exemplifying the importance of local action with global impact. The broader waste management challenges we face are not limited to remote areas. As our cities grow, the volume of waste often surpasses the capacity of local infrastructure to manage it. Over 900 million tons of waste end up in uncontrolled dump sites every year, leaching toxins into our rivers, lakes, and oceans. The consequences are felt most severely by those who are already marginalized, living in informal settlements and lacking access to basic services. And yet, we see that often it is not too much that needs to be done to produce some of this important change. UN Habitat has its headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya, and we do work a lot with Kenya, with Nairobi, and with the different parts of the country, specifically addressing also the waste situation in informal settlements or in slums, if you will. And again, we have seen that sometimes very little to raise awareness, to address the underlying context has huge consequences. And as somebody much wiser than me once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And of course, it's very true also in this particular context. At UN Habitat, we are fully committed to addressing these challenges through initiatives like Waste-Wise Cities, WWC, which now has over 250 cities on board. We work to improve solid waste management and promote circular economies. Our goal is not only to reduce waste, but also to find ways to reuse, repurpose, and recycle, creating cleaner, more sustainable urban environments for all. These efforts align with the objectives of the new urban agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals, or the 2030 Agenda, which I'm sure is well known to you, particularly SDG 11 on sustainable cities and communities, and SDG 12 on responsible consumption and production. Other global efforts to tackle the plastics crisis are gaining momentum. The Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, working towards a plastics treaty, provides a critical opportunity to address plastic pollution at the source, and its work is closely aligned with the values that we are promoting today. Our collaboration with global partners, including the upcoming treaty, signals a strong commitment to finding upstream solutions that will prevent future waste from entering our environment. I know that Norway has been very active and very committed to the plastics treaty negotiations, and from the UN Habitat perspective, we have been very supportive of the work led by our colleagues or our sister agency called United Nations Environment Programme, which is also based in Nairobi. Voluntary and professional cleanups are just the beginning. We must address systematic solutions. We must produce systemic challenges and solutions by rethinking our production and consumption patterns. Building circular systems that reduce waste at the source is essential to ensuring long-term sustainability. These efforts require coordinated action from national and local governments, the private sector, civil society, and individual citizens. World Cleanup Day serves as a powerful reminder of our shared responsibility in addressing this crisis and the importance of collaboration in overcoming it. Today, I call upon all of us to unite in our efforts to create cleaner, more equitable cities. Together, we have the power to make a real difference. So let us embrace this moment, historically first commemoration of the World Cleanup Day, and commit to building a world where all people, from the Arctic to the tropics, live in healthy, safe, and clean environments. That's indeed the goal of all these important advocacy and practical solution efforts. Let this day serve as a symbol of hope, action, and commitment to a future where no one is left behind. Clean cities are not just a right, they are a necessity for our future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Director and Ambassador Mylnar, for very thoughtful comments. Our next speaker is the CEO of Norwegian Retailers Environmental Fund, Cecilie Lind. She has previously been the CEO of the Norwegian Waste Management and Recycling Association, and also has extensive experience from the recycling industry from international companies such as Ragn-Sells and Cowi. Please.
Dear distinguished guests, online audience, and fellow plastic pollution fighters, it's so good to see you all here at this very first UN World Cleanup Day. And a very special welcome to those of you who has been actually out cleaning up plastic litter lately. This week it's Strandryddeuka here in Norway, and thousands of volunteers are out cleaning up on our beaches every day this week and the rest of the year also. On Norwegian radio earlier this week, we heard that microplastics has now been found in the human brains. So unfortunately, plastics, this very useful, durable, and flexible material, finds its way to all the places we do not want it to be, in our oceans, beaches, parks, mountains, and even in our bloods and brains. Sadly, plastic pollution is also found in the most remote Arctic areas, influencing wildlife and nature to an extent we still don't know the full consequences of. I'm privileged to work at a place that are actually able to do something about this problem. I work at the Norwegian Retailer Environmental Fund, and we have been financing, organizing, and supporting small and large cleanups, both in Norway and internationally, for around 7 years now. And this has been possible due to the very unique financing mechanism behind the fund. Our volunteer members, consisting of major Norwegian retailers, they pay a fee per plastic bag. And the fee is currently 3 Norwegian kroners, which equals around 25 cents euro. And through this fee, we have cut plastic bag consumption in Norway by over 50% since we started. But the really smart part is that the entire fee is earmarked for solving plastic problems. Hence, our daily job at the fund is to find the very best plastic solutions and to help fund these. On the screen, you can see a few examples from the over 1,500 projects that we have funded so far. From reusable packaging, bottles and takeaway cups, rubber infill solutions, to volunteer cleanups, removal of abandoned boats, and lost fishing gear. The latter a substantial part of legacy plastics, both in Norway and other parts of the world. We work along the whole value chain and in all sectors that rely heavily on plastics. And we spend our days chasing the most effective, scalable, and promising solution that will yield real environmental impact. And albeit, when it comes to legacy plastics, it's well documented that cleanups are the most effective. That's why we initiated the Cleanup in Time program back in 2019 and have used a significant portion of the plastic bag fee on this program every year since. By engaging hundreds of professional coastal cleaners, fighting time and natural forces on a daily basis, we have managed to remove 3,700 tons of plastics along Norway's long and treacherous coastline. And by removing the plastics from the shore before it breaks down into microplastic and is flushed out at sea, where it's become practically unmanageable, we avoid adverse effects on wildlife, humans, and human health. But we also cut future costs, since removing microplastics from our shores and seas is a mission impossible, both technology and costly. So by cleaning up in time, we also drastically reduce the total cost of removing legacy plastics. That's why we are very thankful for this opportunity to share our model on the very first UN World Cleanup Day, hoping to both inspire and enable similar solutions around the globe. The NRF model is simple, it's effective, and it can be adjusted and adapted to different national, regional, and national contexts. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily simple or easy, but by finding your own way of doing it, you will be able to make a real difference. And I can promise you, it will be worth it, both for the nature, the wildlife, and humankind, and on a personal level. So please reach out to us during the day or later if you think that we can be of help in finding your model. Through Cleanup Norway in Time, we have cleaned up plastic pollution from high up at Svalbard and all the way down to the Swedish border in the southeast, covering all kinds of habitats and ecosystems along the coastline. And our coastal cleaners, they are trained to do this in a safe manner, with proper equipment and without disturbing vulnerable wildlife. And for over 3 years now, we have had coastal cleaners up here in the Arctic area with their very special needs due to the harsh climate and delicate ecosystems. So I'm very happy that we have gathered such a skilled and competent group here today to discuss this very important topic. During the day, you will meet NGOs, researchers, businesses, national and local authorities, and last but not least, people carrying out work on the ground that has seen with their own eyes what's happening out here in the Arctic. So please, ask questions, share your knowledge and wisdom and insights during the day so we can all return home a little wiser and do an even better job on Monday. I want to conclude by thanking the UN General Assembly for their very wise decision to make 20th of September our annual World Cleanup Day. I want to thank UN Habitat for taking on the responsibility for organizing the day future and for trusting us with the launch here in Tromsø today. I want to thank Let's Do It World for their work in inspiring volunteers worldwide to act on plastic pollution and littering, and Grid Arendal for invaluable help in organizing this launch and for raising awareness on plastic pollution in a number of arenas. I'm confident that together we can actually make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cecilie Lind. Our next welcoming address will be from Lars Stordal. He's a principal expert for waste and marine litter at Grid Arendal. He manages policy and capacity development related to projects on plastic pollution. He also leads Grid Arendal's support towards this very important new global plastic treaty, as we already have heard about. Lars works for the UN. Worked earlier for the UN Human Settlements Program and have been posted in Kenya, in Japan and Germany, and his projects focused on urban water sanitation and wastewater management. So, Lars, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jan Gunnar. Dear colleagues, today we gather to celebrate World Cleanup Day for the first time, an official UN day, united by one simple but powerful goal: a cleaner, healthier planet. As we mark this historic day, we must recognize that waste pollution is a crisis with global dimensions. Currently, 110 million metric tons of plastic waste ends up in our oceans every year, contributing to the degradation of our marine ecosystems. Without global action, this is expected to nearly double by 2040. Cities and communities are becoming more polluted, burdened by mountains of waste, by waste management systems that are simply unable to cope. For many of the world's most vulnerable populations, this pollution becomes a direct threat to their health, livelihoods, and the environment. Grid Arendal is an organization dedicated to supporting environmental sustainability through knowledge sharing and collaboration. We work closely with the UN Environment Programme, with UN Habitat and other partners to share knowledge on these pressing environmental challenges. But knowledge is only part of the story. Our mission is to bridge the gap between science and decision-making, using data to inform policies that reduce waste, restore ecosystems, and protect the most vulnerable. We believe that informed action can change the world. Our projects address topics ranging from tackling plastic pollution in rivers and oceans to promoting circular economies that reduce waste production. But these efforts can only succeed when we all play our part. Governments, non-governmental organizations, businesses, and individuals. World Cleanup Day is a perfect example of how grassroots action, professional cleanup programs, and a strong commitment from the business community can achieve positive outcomes for the environment. We believe that by raising awareness on positive solutions, we can help ensure that these examples are not just one-off events, but part of a sustained, evidence-based effort to protect our planet. The Arctic is at the front line of environmental and climate change. At Grid Arendal, we are exploring waste management challenges in remote Arctic communities, where limited infrastructure and harsh conditions demand innovative solutions. Plastic consumption and pollution can affect both health and livelihoods. So we work with indigenous communities to ensure that policy efforts support both environmental and cultural resilience. We are also addressing plastic pollution in Arctic rivers, which increasingly serves as pathways for waste entering the ocean. In collaboration with the Arctic Council working groups, we focus on abandoned, lost, and otherwise discarded fishing gear to safeguard marine life. Last year, we contributed to the International Symposium on Plastics in the Arctic, and we are looking forward to the third symposium, which will be held in 2026. So, what can we do beyond today? The answer is make cleanup a way of life. We must go beyond picking up litter and strive for real behavioral change in our communities. Let's reduce our consumption of single-use plastics, push for stronger environmental policies, and promote circular economies that prioritize recycling and waste reduction. But it's also time for governments to put in place better regulation and for businesses to increasingly take responsibility for the waste they produce. That is why all eyes will be on the final round of negotiations towards a new global treaty to end plastic pollution, taking place in Busan, Korea later this year. We all know that we need a global instrument that is ambitious, effective and just, one that responds to the needs and calls of people and communities from across the world. On that note, I would like to thank the Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund for making this day possible. You are doing incredible work, and I really hope that we can all take advantage of this day to learn from you. I would also like to thank our dear friends at UN Habitat for their trust in us to hold the inaugural World Cleanup Day in the small but beautiful country of Norway, and for making this event a global one. Finally, my thanks go to Tromsø Municipality, the Ministry of Local Government and Decentralization, to the Fram Center, and to our colleagues at Let's Do It World for all of their contributions to making this day a truly memorable one. World Cleanup Day is not just about removing waste from our environment, it's about restoring the health of our planet and the well-being of our communities. At Gryd Arendal, we will continue to work towards solutions that enable a more sustainable, healthier and equitable world. And by working together, we can create transformational and lasting change. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lars Stordal, and also to Gryd Arendal for their continuous efforts to combat this huge global challenge. Now we will turn to political voices, and we will start on the national level. Sigrun Wiggen Prestbakmo is our next speaker. She's the State Secretary for Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. She has been mayor of Salangen municipality in northern Norway, and she represents the Centre Party. She has also been active earlier as county council representative in mid-Norway. Please, Sigrun.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure I welcome you all to the beautiful city of Tromsø, to this year's inaugural World Cleanup Day. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to UN Habitat for choosing Norway and Tromsø as hosts for this year's event. Given the theme, Arctic cities and marine litter, we believe that the Arctic city of Tromsø is the perfect location for this day. The city is also a host of several organizations with relevant expertise and on environmental perspectives in the Arctic, including the Arctic Council Secretariat. I would also like to thank Gryd Arendal and the Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund for making this event possible, and last but not least, Tromsø for hosting this event. Plastic pollution poses a grave threat to the global environment. We can see plastic litter everywhere, on our shores, in our fjords, in the stomach of animals, and in the nests of seabirds and the human brains. Plastic litter spreads through the rivers and oceans, breaking down into microplastics that are found everywhere, even in the Arctic sea ice. We depend on international cooperation to stop plastic pollution and urgently need a legally treaty and binding treaty to address this global issue. Norway plays an active role and promotes an ambitious and effective treaty as a leader of the high ambition coalition to end plastic pollution that now has 66 members. The negotiations are challenging and they are scheduled to be concluded in Busan in South Korea on the 1st of December. We need to reduce the production and use of plastics and take a life cycle approach to plastic products. We need sustainable alternatives to prevent leakages to the environment and to reuse and recycle plastic to reduce the amount ending up as waste. At the national level, we have developed robust systems for waste collection, recovery and disposal. Local authorities are responsible for managing waste in their respective areas. We believe our waste management strategies are effective, with nearly all waste being collected and approximately 40% of household and private business waste being recycled. Waste collection and cleanup actions is particularly challenging in the Arctic region, with our long coastline, with difficult weather conditions, long distances, and expensive infrastructure and transportation. I live not far from here, in a small municipality called Salangen, where I was the mayor until last year. I know the challenges from the local perspective, but also the commitment from the civil society, the many voluntary groups and businesses who work to address these challenges. We need community involvement, networking and collaboration with professionals if we are to succeed. Arctic cities have found ways to do so. Since the beginning of 2015, Norway has allocated government funds for cleanup activities through a grant scheme. However, the Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund is by far the largest contributor to the cleanup of the Norwegian coastline. Furthermore, the implementation of the action plan against marine litter under the Arctic Council is important for Norway. This includes support for the Arctic Cleanup project led by the organization Keep Norway Beautiful. The practical cooperation and exchange of knowledge among volunteer organizations in the Arctic region have proven to be successful. It's important that the private sector, in accordance with the polluter pays principle, assumes responsibility for financing cleanup actions. I hope this day and this event, this historical event, will inspire cooperation between private sectors, volunteers and public authorities in cleanup activities around the world. Thank you very much for the attention and be inspired here in Tromsø.
Thank you so much, State Secretary Pressbakmo. And then we are turning to the Mayor of Tromsø, Gunnar Wilhelmsen, which has been our mayor since 2019. He's representing the Labour Party. Before he became a politician, he has had a very strong community involvement and a wide variety of kind of involvements in industry, real estate, culture and sport. So please, Mayor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jan Gunnar. Dear guests, Michael, it was a very good meeting before this event. We discussed different things. Of course, we discussed the cleanup day, but we discussed that Tromsø has the leadership of Arctic Mayors Forum, which is 8 states in the Arctic, more than 20 mayors and municipalities, and how we're going to use that organization and make a platform in the Arctic. And we also discuss European Youth Capital 2026, how we can have some platform and discuss together how we manage the challenge for the future. Dear friends, welcome to Tromsø, the Arctic capital. Maybe you think you have arrived in a small town at the end of the world. Truth is, you are front and center of world events and world change. Here we live close to the change in our climate. Here we see the effect of plastic pollution and waste firsthand. As the host city for the first ever UN World Cleanup Day, Tromsø is proud to stand at the forefront of a global environmental action. As an Arctic city, we understand the urgency of protecting vulnerable ecosystems, and today we are joining forces with the world to ensure a cleaner, more sustainable future for all. Tromsø is the center of the Arctic. We do not feel alone. We share a community with Semenok in Greenland, with Rovaniemi in Finland, and Kiruna in Sweden. It's important that the cities and the community in the Arctic is at the forefront in protecting and developing the Arctic. Two scientists. Tromsø is the place for observation of spectacular phenomena such as aurora, extreme weather, and climate change. Students come here from all over the world with ambition and hunger for knowledge and experience. And the whole world come here to witness our urban life up in the Arctic. In our hands, we hold the key to a better future. As the Arctic capital, many Arctic institutions and international organizations, such as the Arctic Council, the Arctic Economic Council, and also the Arctic Maize Forum, have their headquarters here in Tromsø. The University Hospital of Northern Norway and the Arctic University of Norway are nationally and internationally renowned research facilities. Tromsø's ambition is to translate our Arctic legacy and reality toward a sustainable future by doing everything we can to protect the Arctic and our environment. We are the key player, and we need everyone on the same team. Then we can accomplish anything, and thank you for all your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wilhelmsen. As we have heard, cleanup goes on all the time, every day, and there has been a recent campaign in the high Arctic of Norway, Svalbard, and we will now see a video from that campaign. That was from Clean Up Norway in Time, latest campaign for cleaning up these Arctic beaches. So hopefully technique is with us, so please enjoy.
My name is Snorre, and I am here at beautiful Svalbard to clean up beaches as part of Clean Up Norway in Time. Clean Up Norway in Time started to clean marine litter on Svalbard last year, and in a 4-week period, we managed to clean 70 kilometers of the coastline and remove more than 16 metric tons of trash. Factors as changing weather conditions, waves and swelling water, safety concerns related to polar bears, and long travel distances makes our work here challenging. In addition, restricted access to protected areas during the breeding period give us limited time frame to carry out the cleanup work. Our goal the coming month is to clean more than 100 kilometers of the coastline. We know we will find areas with lots of marine litter, but we are looking forward to restore the landscape back to its beautiful self. This cleanup work is so important, and it's an incredible experience to be able to be part of this cleanup program.
That was some illustrations of real life, as many of you know very well. Then we are turning to a keynote presentation, and it's my true honor and pleasure to introduce Sarah Ferguson, a long-distance swimmer and plastic pollution activist. In my notes, it says that Sarah is retired as a competitive swimmer, and that's probably true, but retirement and people retired, it doesn't look like that to me. Anyway, you're from South Africa, physiotherapist, environmental advocate, and extreme ultra long distance swimmer. Very, very impressive CV. Sarah pioneers extreme ocean swims around the world to inspire individuals to change their consumer behavior. She holds a Guinness World Record for being the first person to circumnavigate the Easter Island. Sarah is also the founder of Breathe Conservation, a global non-profit company that focuses on eliminating throwaway plastic pollution through educational activities. So, please, Sarah.
Thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be here. Very different to South Africa, being in an Arctic city, but I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm Sarah Ferguson. I swim for a cause. I swim for my faith. I swim for the ocean. My mouth is so dry, I can barely swallow. My tongue is 3 times the size it usually is. I'm treading water in the middle of a raging ocean, 300 meters offshore. But the Chilean Navy has just closed the harbor, and my team are busy having a debate about how to get me safely to shore. I'm exhausted because I've been swimming non-stop for over 19 hours, and all I want to do is be on dry land. In 2019, I battled jellyfish stings, extreme exhaustion, and salt mouth to become the first person in the world to swim around Easter Island, circumnavigating it and setting a Guinness World Record, swimming for 19 hours and 8 minutes. Sorry. Today, I'm going to share 3 things with you as to why I did that, how I did that, and how that relates to World Cleanup Day, as well as some action points that we can take away from this Guinness World Record. So firstly, why would I do something like that? Well, let me take you back to 2009, when I had retired from competitive swimming, and I found myself lost, trying to figure out what I could do with my love and talent for swimming for something bigger than myself. And so I did some research, and I discovered that by 2050, there would be more plastic than fish in the ocean. I discovered that the 3 major threats to our planet were climate change, overfishing, and plastic pollution. And at that time, plastic pollution was not the global crisis that we know of it as today. And so I decided to take the gap and do something about it. And I Googled, where in the world is the most plastic? And up popped this tiny little island in the middle of the South Pacific, known as Rapa Nui, or also more commonly known as Easter Island. And Easter Island has one of the highest concentrations of microplastics in the world because of the South Pacific Gyre. And so in the space of 3 months, I assembled a team and the necessary funds, and this was a lot tougher than I'm making it sound, to attempt to become the first person to swim around that island. We traveled to the other side of the world. And at first glance, the beaches are pristine. But as you start to pick up the rocks, you start to unveil millions and trillions of tiny pieces of microplastics, none of which are from the island itself. It's like you walking home today, opening your front door, and finding someone else's rubbish there. It's not yours, you don't even litter. We are all in this room today because we know that this is a crisis worth fighting for, but we still have to live in the mess. And this is what it is like for our marine life, and this is what it is like for the people on the island. This is my why. If not me, then who will do something about this plastic crisis? Who will be a voice for the marine life that is being strangled and entangled by this litter and our waste and negligence? Somebody has to try. It is my passion and my calling, and I spend all of my spare time and half of my working day dedicating my life to my non-profit Breathe, whose motto is to live deeply and tread lightly. This is why I do it. So how do I do these extreme swims in often very unpredictable and volatile circumstances? Well, I do it one stroke at a time. And that sounds very simple, but I have spent decades preparing for this, being a retired competitive swimmer. It set the background and the platform for me to be able to do this. But I have to surround myself with the best possible team in order to do this and spend years and years of preparation in order to swim these long-distance swims. And I can't just get in and swim around the island. I have to prepare for it. So how can we solve the waste management and plastic pollution crisis? One decision at a time. Every single time you refuse a straw, refill your own water bottle, or take your own coffee cup, you are contributing to the solution instead of the problem. And these small changes lead to big change. And I can't just swim around an island. One stroke gets me nowhere, but many strokes get me around many islands. And Breathe does a number of projects that aim to tackle this crisis. One of them is the extreme swims that I do to inspire change. But we also host monthly reef cleanups where we encourage the public to come to our local reef and snorkel to see firsthand the impact that marine pollution is having on our marine and our coral. We also have a marine guide that is training rural schools on marine ecology, hoping to inspire and educate future generations to be more connected to nature and hopefully lead to long-term change. So why should we care? Well, I think we can all agree that we are all in this room because we care. We want a cleaner, greener future for our planet. We all understand the impact on human health as well as marine and terrestrial animals that plastic pollution has. So what action can we take to do something about this? Well, I think we need to stop talking and we need to start doing. We need to do the small things and encourage the people around us to do the same, but we also need to do the big things. We mustn't wait for policy change. We need to change it ourselves or encourage the people or find people in our team who can do so. Just traveling here, arriving at the airport, I was quite shocked to see there was no refillable water options at the airport. There was plastic water bottles everywhere. In a first world country, that was shocking to me. I had the privilege of seeing the Northern Lights last night, and we had a little hot chocolate stop, and they all use disposable cups. These are very simple things that we can do to encourage change by bringing our own or encouraging people like these tourist companies to have reusable cups. And those things make big change. I'm going to finish off with a little video now, just sharing how I managed to get safely to shore. and to end off with one of my favorite quotes by George Washington Carver: "When we do the common things of the world in an uncommon way, we will command the attention of the world." And for me, that's swimming. That is what I do. I do extreme swims around the world to inspire change. What will you do?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for using your talent and also using that for messaging awareness and action about plastic problems. So very, very strong story you have to tell. Now we will have a new video message from Katarina Bu, the chair of UN Association of Norway.
Dear esteemed participants, dear colleagues, dear friends, my name is Katarina Bu and I am the Secretary General of the UN Association of Norway, a Norwegian organization created to shed light on what the UN does. I am excited to take part in the very first World Cleanup Day event and speak to all of you in Tromsø. World Cleanup Day honors achievements and is a celebration of the heroes and the sheroes who show us that we all have a responsibility to preserve and maintain a clean and healthy environment. Because this is a shared responsibility indeed. And I have to say that I'm thrilled that this first World Day event is taking place in Tromsø, in my own country. And in Norway, we are becoming more and more aware, but perhaps not fast enough, that we are all vulnerable to climate change. This is particularly true for the Arctic. The Arctic's delicate ecosystem is begging us to step up preservation and get rid of plastic and marine litter. Why? Because the plastics and litters are threats to life and livelihoods. And in the same token as the ecosystem is asking for help, only an ecosystem can put in place the cleanup efforts needed. This is one of the reasons why we in the UN Association of Norway have scaled up our focus on community cleanup efforts in schools all around the country. Because actions towards a sustainable world often start at an early age. The first World Cleanup Day 2024 event takes a people-centered approach through collaboration, finding synergies, and sharing and learning. These are all key to protect the nature that we depend on in the Arctic, in Norway at large, but also in most parts of the world. I thank you all for your attention and wish you a very, very good event.
Now we will enter the most technical, difficult part of today. We are going to merge in the live stream, but as an introduction to that session, I will like to introduce Heidi Solba, President and Head of the Global Network and Let's Do It World. She is the founder of Let's Do It World, originating in Estonia in 2008, following a national cleanup event that mobilized 50,000 Estonians and led to the cleanup of 10,000 tons of waste. You started the World Cleanup Day as a global yearly event in 2018, and here we are today, 6 years later, and mobilized over 20 million people across over 190 countries for World Cleanup Day every year since then. Very impressive. Please, Heidi.
Each section of the planet which has already been scrubbing and picking up.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Out of the waterways.
And I'm really, really honored to stand here today. And I want to also express all my greetings and huge thank you to all the partners and supporters around the world. And here I'm expressing also my appreciation to United Nations Habitat, to city of Tromsø, to greet Arendal, to Norway Retail's Environmental Foundation, to all you here, to Sarah for really beautiful speech and the action in this world. Thank you all for coming here to celebrating this big day. But standing here today is a new milestone for our organization called Let's Do It World NGO, which started many years back from Estonia. And indeed, we had a really bold idea. What if we are cleaning up this world in just one single day? And called it World Cleanup Day. And it was 10 years back. And now we are here. And I'm so happy and thrilled about that. But since then, the biggest network has been born, because indeed we work to have the biggest network in this world, which is working like a family-based today, right now. They are cleaning up around the world with millions of people. Can you believe it? And we have teams in 164 countries, working like a family, being part of our big organization. Today I wear their first World Cleanup Day t-shirt from 2018, and it makes me emotional. Exactly with 6 World Cleanup Days, plus today's cleanup as well, we can say that we embarking with Let's Do It World Network have been engaged more than 100 million people for the cleanups around the world, which is more than 1% of the Earth's population. But why we are doing it? And is it easy? We are not there for that cleanup just, because a cleanup is not the solution. And we know that because we have done it so much. Cleanup is not the solution. We want to engage mass of critical mass of the people. We want to engage at least 3 up to 4% of the Earth's population, because this is scientific proof to start systemic change in the society. We want to have systemic change in the society. That's why we are cleaning up. We need millions. We need institutions. We need organizations. We need huge corporates. And we need governments and all the civic society to merge and to work on that day. Because then we can create a lasting societal shift. We are not cleanup organization. We are an organization who is changing the world. And we want to do it. And we are continuing to do it. And also, World Cleanup Day is not just bringing the people together. And we have to also say that it's supposed to be done with a joy, because everything what you are doing without the joy is not done correctly. We have to embark our good emotions. And again, this World Cleanup Day is bringing together also different kind of sectors. And this is so much important because we are boosting the way how we collaborate with different kind of institutions, organizations, finding solutions in national level. So now with our 6 World Cleanup Days, with our Let's Do It Well network, we have been growing very strong environmentalists in their countries, in national levels. So we are not working just for one single day, although to work for that, it's really big work. But we are working also with education. We're working also with the waste management systems. Everything is needed to make the change happen. And with yearly preparations and continuous cleanups, we do celebrate the World Cleanup Day in really extraordinary way. We are creating a media center somewhere in this world today in Tallinn, in Estonia, just to following what is happening around the world within the Let's Do It World network. So we start from Fiji and following like a green wave around the world, actually in 48 hours, to see with the Kola Media Center, which is happening everywhere, and ending up in Hawaii, calling to 120 countries. We are not capable to do it more. And furthermore, we also creating and working on the broadcast show on that day too, just to show to the world what exactly we are doing. This Let's Do It Well network, all the partners and everyone within. And I'm saying to our technology team here in Tromsø and also in Tallinn, let's try to stream and cross-stream what is happening currently in Kola Media Center in Tallinn. So this was message to Tromsø here. And for you to know that the program, what we created for this really big day, it's lasting 11 hours. It has been already online, 5 hours. And you can follow it in World Cleanup, the social media, but also World Cleanup, the YouTube channel. And now we try to bring it directly to you online, which is happening here in Tallinn, in Kola Media Center. I hope you can reach these streams from Tallinn. But what happens in 11 hours?
And you're very welcome back to the World Cleanup Day show, coming to you once again live from Tallinn, the beautiful capital of Estonia on the Baltic Sea. Our thanks to Heidi and all her friends there at the UN Habitat Conference in Tromsø in Norway. And that conference will continue, but I believe now that they're linked in and watching our feed on the big screen. So hello, we enjoyed all your talks and the conference in general. Some great points made, great speakers, and we're happy that you're going to join us for the next little while here live from Estonia. Now, I am joined by our esteemed guests from the Estonian government. We have the Minister of Foreign Affairs here with me, and I was trying to pronounce your second name properly. It's hard for me because I'm Irish. Markus Tsahkna?
It is Margus Tsahkna, but even it's hard for Estonians, so you're good.
Tsahkna.
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 Yeah. Tsahkna. Everybody.
Yeah, everyone together. Now, you've been the minister for a year now. And let me ask you about, from your point of view and from the Estonian government's point of view, the World Cleanup Day. It has become such a global initiative. Millions of people taking part, 120 countries around the world, but it all started here in the small country of Estonia. How do you think it became so successful?
I'm very proud as a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and precisely before couple of days before the Unga Week, we're going to New York when all the world is coming together. But it is not because of Estonian government what has happened, this really crazy thing that millions of people gathering together and cleaning up the waste, but it is because of this initiative what our people had, and you just listened about this, what happened. And there are like two parts, I think. That one is as a sign that if you have a great idea, if you want to change the world, you can do it, and you can do it even starting from the small country and the small nation as Estonia is. And the second is the idea that people just gathering voluntarily. It's like putting different communities together. And now it has been growing like global. We are talking millions and millions of people cleaning up, collecting waste, but also it is like the message that actually we can do something to change the world. And I'm very proud about these people.
And Minister, what do you think now, the fact that we have this global team of Let's Do It World leaders, led by Estonia in collaboration with the help of the Estonian government and other partners, and now being recognised on the UN calendar? I mean, that's an incredible achievement in a relatively short space of time for the World Cleanup Day. What does this signify now that it's on the calendar at the UN?
It is very important. It's very hard to jump into this kind of like official day of United Nations, and the Cleanup Day is there now. But it's a proof as well that the topic is interesting and important for everybody. And the topic is something that everybody understands. Not sometimes we understand some topics in Europe in one way, and in Africa other way, and in Latin America differently. But this is something that the people understand, and they feel that we need to do something. And of course, it gives to this waste topic full visibility. And we need to use it. And it's not about Estonia only. I'm very happy that Norway has taken this responsibility for this year, and I hope that many other countries are joining. We don't want to keep it to ourselves, because this is global. This is a connecting people movement, and this is important for us.
That's a great point, that you don't want to keep it to yourself, because you could have kept it to yourself. It was working so well here in Estonia for many years as a national cleanup day, and the country was getting cleaner, from what
Absolutely.
I believe. And so why the decision to bring it global? Because it is a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, it costs money as well, it takes a lot of collaboration with different stakeholders. Why bring it to the world?
I want to make a point that this has not been the governmental initiative, even I'm the minister of this government. It has been the movement.
I was giving you a chance to take ownership.
Thank you. No, we love each other in Estonia. We know each other very well. We are practically relatives. We have 1 million people, Estonians, living here. But the case is that the idea for these people who started this initiative was to bring it global, because we can clean up Estonia. Please come to Estonia. It's the cleanest country in the world, probably. But we are not changing the world only being in Estonia. And I'm very happy that people who has been running this initiative, they have put lots of energy in. It has been really hard way to go, and now it's global. And I do hope that they will find more sponsors, more countries. And as a member of government, I'm saying that there should be a great competition between different governments to get this initiative for the next years, because it keeps you real. Because it's something you can show as well, that not only talking, but this is action. And we Estonians, we are very practical people. We are not talking a lot, as you see as well. We are just acting. We are doing things. And we see as well that people globally, they're ready to do things, not listening anymore to the politicians' talks.
No, we like hearing the politicians talk as well, that's for sure. And the final question I wanted to ask you is, you mentioned it there for a moment, but what next? Where does it go next? How can Estonia continue to drive this now with the help of the UN on the calendar? And as you said, hopefully more countries wanting to host it. Where can we go from here to make this bigger and better and brighter for everybody?
I think that the one thing is the action. This is a great network. This is a great IT environment for that, to organize the cleanup days, in the meaning covering millions of people at the same time globally. But we need to talk about it. We need to communicate. And today this event is important as well. And we need to communicate it using the personal communication channels, as this social media, whatever, and to show that actually you can make the change. Everybody can make the change. Because what I feel is that finally communication in the world is very personal, and the guilt of the personal guilt of the people that they are not doing enough is a trigger. Then we can actually make it even more global. So let's communicate, let's show that things can be changed, and let's show that we are doing practical things, not only talking. And this is what we want to support.
That's a great point, because we see in some parts of the world now protests are being done in different ways for good causes, environmental issues, but blocking traffic or pouring paint over things, where someone the other day made a point that this is great because you're showing the problem, you're showing the issues, but you're showing great solutions as well in a practical way, how much waste is being cleaned up here and there and how countries are being transformed. So that's the way to do it.
Exactly, and also what I have mentioned in Estonia is that before one or the other person is dropping the waste somewhere or hiding it, the cigarettes and whatever, they're thinking, because they know that maybe after a couple of months somebody, friend or whoever, is coming to pick it up voluntarily. So you never do it again. So it is changing as well the attitude of the society. So let's communicate, let's do it.
That's what let's do it. And that's what we need, a societal shift.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Minister of Foreign Affairs here in Estonia, thank you so much.
Thank
and I'll try
much.
one more time. Marcus Tukna.
Okay, next time better.
Next time better. Thank you so much for your support and for the support of the Estonian government. And as we say goodbye to the Minister here in Estonia, and I know our friends are still watching us as we stream this in Norway, we are going now to head to Bulgaria, because every year Let's Do It Bulgaria have been really pushing the World Cleanup Day. In fact, this year, even the national television of Bulgaria have been involved, as well as different government stakeholders. Here's just a little taster of how it's been going for them.
On September 14th, Let's Clean Bulgaria. Together for the 12th time, united volunteers, organizations and institutions in the name of a cleaner environment, and supported the causes of the largest civil movement in the world, Let's Do It World, joining the World Cleanup Day. This year's initiative was held under the theme, Let's Turn the Game Around, and its main focus was cleaning up rivers, lakes, dams, and other water bodies and their adjacent areas. Bulgaria's beaches and seabeds were also cleaned with the help of divers and special equipment. Ralph Bartolite, Chief Executive Officer.
For us at BTV, the Let's Clean Bulgaria Together campaign is a symbol of responsible behavior and commitment. We have once again united hundreds of thousands of volunteers, companies, NGOs and partners with the common goal of making Bulgaria cleaner and more beautiful. The initiative is an example of how media can be a driving force for positive change. In 2024, we focused on water. Water is a source of life and in many ways reflects the health of our nature. We believe that protecting natural resources and biodiversity is essential to our sustainable future. BTV has embarked on this journey because our role is not only to inform, but also to inspire people. Thank you to everyone who took part in today's big cleanup day. Let us continue to lead by example. Together we show that change starts with the action of each and every one of us.
Data from the Ministry of Environment and Water show that the 12th edition of Let's Clean Bulgaria Together was the largest ever. Despite adverse weather conditions, over 282,000 volunteers, including companies and NGOs, collected over 4,341 tons of waste and cleaned a record 6,811 polluted areas. In 2024, 699 kindergartens and educational institutions across the country also joined the campaign. Their number was 100 more than the previous edition, with a total of 596 in 2023. Gospodin Yovchev, Chief Operating Officer of BTV Media Group, stated, "I would like to thank everyone who comes out every year with enthusiasm and joins in a common goal to clean up Bulgaria together, to make it a better place to live. I also want to thank all our partners who have supported us over the years. At times like today, we need to know that the good example remains." Today, 12 editions later, we can safely say that gradually and with joint efforts, we have finally managed to convince society that change depends on us, because caring for nature is personal and the result of our small steps together.
We are downstairs in the belly of the beast here at the call centre. Now, so far, any glitches? Have we been running into any problems?
Yeah, we've had a slight connection problem in Qatar. So the Qatar interview was postponed for the afternoon. There is no connection in the desert.
Oh, they're in the desert?
In the desert. We are cleaning the desert.
Wow, but they're cleaning at the moment in the desert. Isn't that incredible?
Well, I'm not sure that they are at the moment there because it's a prayer day in this country, so they might be preparing for that.
Doing their prayers first and then
Exactly.
It's amazing, all these cultural differences that we have to consider and think of.
Yes,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Fiona, where are we heading to next?
We're going to get hold of Pakistan next.
So you're going to be talking to Pakistan?
Yes, we'll be asking them any exciting stories that have happened and just generally what they've been picking up, what kind of rubbish that they've been seeing. And also, how many people have come out for this movement today?
That's incredible. So before they make it to the show and on air, before we share it with people around the world, it's you're just part of the team here who check in with the countries first, get some of the data, pick out the main points. Keep up the good work. Let's go upstairs and check out what the rest of the team is doing. This is my workout for the day. Okay, we have come upstairs. Look at this. This is our spread of food. We can nibble at, and it gives us energy for the day because remember, the World Cleanup Day lasts for 24 hours. So we are here the entire day with so many volunteers who are linking in with countries depending on their time zones. So the work doesn't end. I see Annette is working hard in here. Annette's job is to check in with countries before we go live to them. So she queues them up. She makes sure that technically everything looks good. Annette, just want to say hi quickly. How's everything going?
Hey, everything is going really well.
David is we're about to talk to you in a second on the show.
waiting.
We're doing a little behind the scenes here. So
Yes.
just tell us, Annette, very quickly, what are you doing here?
I'm during the broadcast.
And he's in London, isn't he, at the moment?
Yes.
David's in London. Okay, we're going to talk to you in a second, David. Get everything squared away there technically and keep up the good work. Annette does a great job in there. And we'll move on in here to the media centre where everybody is working really hard. Oh, look.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. So unexpected.
Yes, it is.
Ingrid, what's happening? I see a nice photograph on your screen.
Yes, I'm just looking at photographs coming in from all around the world, and we have photos from Taiwan, we have photos from Myanmar rolling in. You know, the Pacific start cleaning the first, and all those photos are rolling in, and also media coverage as well. So.
The brilliant thing is, as the minister said, it's not just talking, it's action and it's doing. And you get to see the actual video clips and the photographs of the cleanups that have been happening so far.
Yes, and we share it all on our social media as well. So if you haven't followed us there yet, then do.
And what have you been doing? What have you been doing? But the amazing thing is that we have checked in with countries like Iran, we've been to Saudi Arabia, we've been to Bahrain, Australia.
You know, only 60 countries are still who haven't started with their cleanup actions, and already nearly 30 have finished with their cleanup actions. Yeah, some will continue also tomorrow, but for today we already have 30 countries that have done their cleaning for the day.
Finally, Ingrid, how come you look so fresh and so alert for someone who's been working on very little sleep for the last long time?
Well, I think this is all about the lifestyle of a volunteer. It just gives you so much joy that there's no other option.
So much passion. Ingrid, keep up the good work, and everyone else. Hello, everybody. Hey. Now, we're going to go over here into our studio. Here's all the gang. Look at this man. He is the best sound man in the entire known universe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, we'll move over here. High five, great crew. High five to you. So we are now going to switch back over, and we are heading to London town next. And we're going to talk to David, who's there. David Parks, how is it going in the United Kingdom?
Hey, Colm, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. How is the cleanup going today? Where are you and what have you been finding?
So we are in North London, in a park called Clissold Park, one of the many beautiful parks around London. And we're gathering right now with some friends from the Estonian Embassy in London. And also we have a little dog here who's decided to join us. Yeah, we've got Alexandra from the park user group. Say hello, Alexandra. Yeah, so we're just about to start our pickup cleanup event here in London today. So.
Now, London's a beautiful city. I know I've been there many times, and it's a pristine city, but you do have your spots where you have problems as well. And in each country, the problem can be unique in what they have to tackle or what they are seeing. When it comes to littering in the UK or pollution and waste, is there something that's unique or something that you're seeing again and again?
I think it's pretty similar to most cities, especially in Europe. It's waste that's generated by people who have left their lunch boxes and their litter around. A lot of cigarette butts as well here, like most places. And what tends to happen is we have community organisations like the Clissold Park user group who are helping to make sure that these places are maintained and looked after, and people respect their the local environment. I've got Alexandra here from the Clissold Park user group.
That's right. Hello.
Nice to talk to you. How is the cleanup going so far? I know this is something that is not new to you, that your group does a lot of this kind of work. Why do you think it is so important in today's day and age?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, as a relatively small park in London, we do have 3 million visitors visit the park a year. So there's a very heavy footfall, and it's very important to bring the community together. People feel like they get to know their neighbours, they help the environment, and they can educate future generations to hopefully do the same.
That's a great point, the social aspect to this as well, of people that maybe might not have occasion to mix or to see each other in the busy lives that we lead, that this is a great event to bring them together for a cause that we can all agree on. Even if we come from different backgrounds or cultures or races, this is a great common ground.
Exactly, and it brings everybody together. It makes a direct and an immediate impact around you that you can actually see. And I think everybody likes to get involved in something that affects their local community and their environment.
Well, it's been great talking to you. And David, as always, thank you so much to you and to everyone in Let's Do It UK.
Good to see you, Paul. And we've got the Estonian Embassy team here as well with us.
Hello, Estonian Embassy team.
Hello.
Are you lost? You should be here in Estonia, but you're over there.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? How that can happen.
How it can happen. Well, I'm here enjoying your beautiful country and the beautiful city of Tallinn. So thank you so much to everyone, and good luck to everyone who's cleaning across the United Kingdom today. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you. Have a good day.
You too, guys. Thank you so much. Now, at this point of the World Cleanup Day show, we are going to continue broadcasting here from Estonia, but we want to say goodbye to our friends who are watching in Norway at the moment at the UN Habitat Conference. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for your participation. And from talking to the people here and talking to the people involved in Let's Do It World and the World Cleanup Day, you really can't understand the importance of this now being recognised on the UN calendar. It's such a boost for everyone, and we all are looking forward to seeing how this propels us forward into the future. So Norway for just now, goodbye and thank you so much. We'll continue on with our schedule, though. We are going to now hear a short video message. This was recorded a few days ago from the President of the European Parliament. This is Roberta Metsola.
The mismanagement of waste is a global problem, exacerbating climate change. Single-use plastics are ending up in our oceans and rivers, where they leak toxins in the environment that persist for hundreds of years. Ill-disposed smartphones and obsolete computers end up leaking hazardous chemicals into soil and water, posing a risk to human life. Waste and its improper disposal are causing serious harm to ecosystems. This is why I'm really pleased that the European Parliament is working hard to put into action a circular economy. Last December, for example, we agreed on a new eco-design requirement for products such as footwear, clothing and furniture, so as to make them more sustainable and decrease waste. We are also looking at ways to limit the impact of plastics and packaging on our environment. I am delighted that World Cleanup Day, which I have supported for years together with some of my European Parliament colleagues, has now been added to the official United Nations calendar. From this year forth, the 20th of September will be that day. World Cleanup Day has grown exponentially from year to year. Last year, over 19 million participants took part in cleaning up across 198 countries and territories. So why not take part too? Seize this opportunity to participate in a worldwide campaign as a citizen or an organization to tackle the global mismanaged waste crisis. Our collective cleanup effort is paying off. So thank you for your help to raise awareness and ultimately create a waste-free world.
Thank you very much, Roberta Metsola, there, the President of the European Parliament, for that very encouraging message. We are continuing to check in with countries, and we will be talking live to Georgia in just a little while. We actually have someone here from Georgia working on the team. But now we're going to bring you a little short video message showing a bit of what the cleanup has been like in Georgia in previous years. Beautiful scenes there from Georgia, and we can now cross live to Georgia to Yorgi, who is there. I like the cap, I like the t-shirt, I like the glasses, and he's even matching our graphics. Look at that. He's blending right in. Yorgi, good to see you. How are you?
WCD.
How's it going in Georgia?
We cannot hear you.
How is it going in Georgia today? How is the cleanup going?
We can't hear you, but I understand the question. We are feeling great, as you see. We have a main event in Marneuli, so you can see how beautiful it is to be here. So many volunteers joined us today, and it's really beautiful moment now. And we have our main event in Marneuli, and here are our volunteers, team members, who will join this live interview.
That is beautiful. And tell us, how long have you been cleaning for already today, and how many people have come out to take part?
Can you repeat? We cannot hear your voice.
Okay, you cannot hear my voice, but you can see my picture. But can you hear me at all, Yorgi, if you tell me how the cleanup has been going so far?
How cleanup going? You must be going.
Hi there, this is Katia. This is going great. We're there with many students from the local school, and we're just so excited to clean up everything.
Yes. Around the school, we will make a big cleanup on this location, and let's see.
And tell me, Yorgi, how has it been getting people involved in Georgia? Has it been easy to get people involved?
Of course, like now, many people knows about World Cleanup Day, Georgia in Georgia, and everybody is so motivated to join. Volunteers, leaders, teachers. This year was really, really beautiful because more than 80 teachers registered as leaders. It means that in school and the teachers are more interested annually, like number of leaders from the schools are increasing, and they want to join this beautiful movement. They want to clean their environment in different locations. So it's really nice. It's really nice, and hundreds of leaders from different regions of Georgia are organizing cleanups. And this is really fantastic day now here. And maybe now, because we cannot hear your voice well, our volunteers will say a few words why they are here, why they like World Cleanup Day, and what they think. Please, guys.
That sounds good.
So, hi, my name is Muhab, and I've never been happier with one of my decisions that I've made to join the World Cleanup as a volunteer. And it's just amazing to see all different types of new people and very bright people who are going to be helping us today. And I'm very, very excited to work with all of them. And it's been a very amazing experience so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day.
That is awesome.
Thank you
Beautiful.
very much. Thank you. What about you?
Hello, my name is Lala. Happy World Cleanup Day. We're here today to clean up this school, and I think everybody deserves a beautiful and suitable place for education. It's going to be an amazing day.
That's awesome. I like your glasses.
Thank you very much. Please
Everyone's wearing
stay
cool
here,
glasses
and
there.
As always, you know, we are not only doing cleanup activities, but we have a different activities, like it's an environmental educational awareness activity today. We have a music, we have a DJ, and of course our beautiful street art. And now I want to share with you what we are painting here.
Now he's going to show us. He's rotating the camera around. He's trying to flip the camera. You're going to show us what you're painting. Let's see this.
Yes, this is a wall of the school, which was really, really polluted and painted with different letters. But now our street artist, Weiss, is painting this wall. And you will see in the end such a beautiful it will be. So this is the one wall on this side. And we have another wall, and another artist is painting. And this is another wall. As you see,
That is beautiful. So they're taking
That
a
is
place that
beautiful.
was covered in graffiti and different spray paint, and they're making it into something beautiful. That is wonderful. So, Jorgi, before we let you go, can you just tell us what's going to happen for the rest of the day before we say goodbye to you in Georgia?
Can you repeat the question, please?
No problem at all, my friend. I was just asking, what is the plan for the rest of the day?
So we are going to make a few cleanups in Marneuli. This first location is here, as you see in the school. And then we move from the school to another locations. And today is like Marneuli City Day, and we will join them. And it will be also clean up close to this location. And yeah, and also as I told you, like many leaders from different regions, from different municipalities are cleaning Georgia today. And this is really beautiful to have such a motivated young people. Look at them.
That is wonderful, beautiful, and I love the colors. I love that everyone is color coordinated with their cool glasses and their hats. Ah, great to see the waving kids and everyone holding hands as well. It's a beautiful thing. This is what it's all about. Jorgi, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you very much. World Cleanup Day. Thank you very much to all the leaders for making huge contribution for our planet. Good luck.
Good luck.
Have
Thank
a nice
you so much.
WCD 2024.
Have a great World Cleanup
Goodbye.
Day, guys. Bye-bye and enjoy it. It looks like they're having great fun there in Georgia. That's where you want to be. That's great. Go back to them one more time. Let's see that. Look, let's see that on the screen if we could just switch back. There they are. Bye, guys. Yes. He's the man. All right. Thank you so much, Georgia. In a moment, we're going to head to Kosovo, to Pristina in Kosovo. But first, this is a beautiful piece of music that was specially composed and written for the World Cleanup Day and for Let's Movement and the Let's Do It movement by a 14-year-old singer called Ella McGregor. She is in Mauritius, and this song is actually called Let's Do It, Let's Do It. That's what the song is called. And so we have that now from Ella McGregor.
In my dreams, the sky was blue, the trees were green, and we were all living peace and harmony. In my dreams, the leaves and the flowers were growing and swelling around me. In reality, the world's gone astray. All I can see are reasons to pray. In reality, everything's grey. I look around me, I see nothing but waste. So much waste. Oh, too much waste. Oh, so much waste. But we can do it, keep it clean. Let's go do it, keep it clean. Oh, we will do it, keep it clean right now. We can do it, keep it clean. Let's go do it, keep it clean. Oh, we will do it, keep it clean right now. In my dreams, the ocean was pure, the streams were clear, and we were all swimming, kidding happily. Oh, in my dreams, the birds and the bees were buzzing and chirping and flying around me. In reality, at the sea, at the oily bay. In reality, the world's gone astray by neglecting Mother Nature's own way. We lost our way, Mother Nature's way. But we can do it, keep it clean. Let's go do it, keep it clean. Oh, we will do it, keep it clean right now. But we can do it, keep it clean. Let's go do it, keep it clean. Oh, we will do it, keep it clean right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
That was so beautiful. 14-year-old Ella McGregor from Mauritius with the song that she wrote and performed there called Let's Do It, especially for the World Cleanup Day and the Let's Do It movement. Thank you, Ella, for that beautiful contribution. Only 14 years of age and so talented. She is the next Taylor Swift, next Adele, and she got her first break here on the World Cleanup Day show. Well, now we're heading to a country that hosted the World Cleanup Day in 2019, the beautiful nation of Kosovo. And I know we can go live to the capital, Pristina, now. And there for us is Marsona standing by.
Hello.
Hey, Marsona, how's it going?
Hello, it's going good. You can see a lot of people here today.
And you look very happy.
Yeah, we are very happy, to be honest. As you can see, we are here more than 600 here and more than 3,000 in all over the Kosovo in different cities.
Wow, that's incredible. So thousands of people have turned out to take part today. And what's happening where you are now in the capital?
No, we are in the capital city of Kosovo, which is Pristina. Right now, we are going ready with the volunteers. We are wearing our T-shirts and everything that it's a must. But also right now, we will have an interview for the media here, for the private one and the public one, with the different ambassadors from different embassies here, and also businesses and officials from municipalities in Kosovo. As you can see all around me, we have a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Youths from high school, middle school, private businesses, and oh my God, we are so happy.
Yeah, people of different ages as well. And let me ask you, when you talk about cleaning up in Kosovo, what is the kind of problem that you have, or what have you been noticing in the waste and picking up?
Yeah, we have, to be honest, we have a lot of illegal landfills here in Kosovo. And the problem is that the people throw a lot of trash from their houses in different places. And also it creates air pollution and also the water. So the problem is the small municipalities, to be honest, more than here in the capital city. And that's the main point of today, to grab all the trash and to let the people know how important it is to clean the environment.
And from your point of view, do people take it seriously in Kosovo? Is it something that is high on the priority list, or do you have a challenge trying to get people interested and involved in environmental issues?
To be honest, we were trying, as you know, the Let's Do It Kosovo works for a lot of time now, and it's been so many years for us trying to make the people understand how important it is. And nowadays, as you can see from the interest of the volunteers, we have created a big group of volunteers who are really careful and are really happy to join in this initiative. And they are so ready to make Kosovo look better, also in the environment.
That's fantastic. So what is on the plan for the rest of the day? And God bless your arm, because your arm is getting great exercise. You're holding up the camera like this there, and I know it's you want to get the best angle.
It feels kind of hard, but it's okay. As you can see, today we will clean like 20 different locations in different municipalities here in Kosovo. I will be here in Pristina, but we will clean different places, lakes, villages, and so many cities here. So we separated the whole volunteers because, you know, we have a lot of participants from schools, from businesses, and also we had the help of the officials of different municipalities. So we kind of divided them in different places. So we will clean like 20 different locations just for today, like starting from 12 to 6 or 7 today.
And then
As you
tonight,
can see.
Marsuna, big party?
Yeah, after that.
Yeah, a big
Yeah.
party. And you guys...
Yeah, but I think we will have the biggest party in the locations, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember when we were there for the World Cleanup Day a few years ago and we hosted the show from Pristina with your television network, RTK. There was a big party afterwards, and you guys know how to party.
Yeah, actually we do.
You do, yeah.
And I think we are so good also with cleaning, which means that we can combine both of them, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, our friends in the United States at Let's Do It USA, they say, if you're not having fun doing a cleanup, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, that's for sure, because it's so important. And also, for us, it's so important that we have young people here and also that we have old people, because as you know, we are a place who we will be coming like after the war, and we had so much problems here. So we think that the environment, it's really something that we should work on. So we are so happy that we can influence the young generations and teach them which is the right way to do it.
That's a great point. Post-war Kosovo,
Yeah.
you want to make your country as beautiful as you can.
Yes, it
for
is
everybody.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for everybody.
we have a wonderful place
It's true.
and
That's
also a
true.
wonderful country. So yeah, I would like to invite you also for cleaning and for the party afterwards.
We're coming. See you at the party.
Yeah.
Marsuna, thank you so much for taking part and enjoy the rest of your cleanup day. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
All the best. Bye. And
Bye-bye.
we're staying with Kosovo at the moment and with the capital Pristina because we actually have a recorded message from the mayor of Pristina.
Greetings from Pristina, the capital city of Kosovo. Environmental pollution remains one of the biggest global challenges. It affects every part of the world, from major cities to the most remote areas. Climate change, driven by pollution and uncontrolled human activities, is impacting each of us, altering the way we live, work, and interact with our environment. This situation calls for immediate and coordinated action from all of us. We must act now to protect our planet for future generations. In this effort, World Cleanup Day on September 20th is one of the most significant global initiatives, bringing together millions of people to contribute to a cleaner, healthier world. This day, part of the United Nations environmental calendar, involves volunteers from 198 countries and territories around the globe. In Pristina, thousands of citizens will take to the streets, parks, and public spaces to clean up our city. As mayor, I am proud of our citizens' dedication and the municipality's ongoing support for these initiatives, aimed at making our city a cleaner and more beautiful place for everyone. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the Let's Do It World movement and to Let's Do It Kosovo for their hard work and dedication in organizing this important day. Together, we are building a brighter future for Pristina, for Kosovo, and for the world. Join us on the September 20th and let's make a real difference together.
Thank you so much for that. The mayor of Pristina, the capital of Kosovo. And just before that, we were talking to the team at Let's Do It Kosovo, who are in the middle of their cleanup. Thousands of people, she told me, right across the country are taking part today. So that's an incredible result. And I know they're a very hard-working team there in Kosovo. Now, we are talking to a lady next called Christine Figner. We've had her on the program before because she has a remarkable story to tell. She is a marine biologist and a scientist from Germany, but now based in Costa Rica. And she went completely viral a number of years ago. I mean, like a video she made obliterated the internet. It got 111 million views. It was to do with a turtle and a plastic straw. Now, just to warn you, we play a little clip of that video during the interview with her, and it is a little bit graphic, but it is the reality of what she came across when scuba diving and swimming off the beautiful coast of Costa Rica. And that video, because it was so graphic and horrifying, it went viral and it led to change, as you're about to hear, and it led Christine on this incredible journey and path that she never realized she was going to go down, becoming a full-time environmental activist. So here it is from just a few days ago, my chat with Christine Figner. Christine, it's good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Now, it's great to have you part of World Cleanup Day again, because I know this is a passion of yours that goes back, and you've told the story before, but I'll ask you again for those who maybe might not be too familiar with it. But it was this extraordinary moment that happened back in 2015. What happened and what was the knock-on effect of that viral video?
Yeah, the moment that turned me from an accidental storyteller into a full-blown science communicator, I guess, and activist. Yeah, so we were actually on the ocean just doing research on sea turtles when we came across a turtle that had something funny in its nose, which turned out to be a plastic straw. And while working with sea turtles, I know that plastic is an issue. I knew that before the straw story already, but it was something more unusual, I would say. But I think the real shift happened more because I filmed the whole thing and I shared it with the world. And so a lot more people shared into the suffering of that turtle. And I think it really resonated with people. And all of a sudden, a lot more people understood that, plastic, especially single-use plastics, are very useless and also can cause a lot of suffering.
Why do you think, Christine, it did resonate with people as much as it did?
Well, first of all, sea turtles are charismatic megafauna, what we call them, right? So we like certain animals because they look cute. We kind of interpret a little bit of more like human traits into them. Sea turtles belong to them. They look cute. And I also feel that everybody felt a little bit of guilt because I don't think there's anybody in the world that can say they have never used a plastic straw. And so I think most of us at this point are aware that we are inherently connected to our oceans, right? It doesn't matter how landlocked we live. Every river leads eventually into the ocean. The way of how we manage our trash, has a lot to do of what ends up in the ocean. So 80% of what we find in the ocean comes from land-based sources. So that means what we have discarded, maybe responsibly in a trash can, then made its way to a landfill, a big storm, a big flood, washed it out into the river, and then it eventually ended up in the ocean. And so in the end, it ended up in the nose of a turtle.
And I know the knock-on effect of that video was that plastic straws were banned or discontinued in many different outlets because of the outrage and the outcry. But there were those who said, Christine, that it's not really the plastic straw that's the problem, it's the humans that are the problem. I mean, the straw is not the one that's jumping into the ocean deciding to get there. It's human behavior. And I know manufacturers who make plastics say, wait, we want this to be recycled as much as you do. We're not the ones putting it in the landfill or the oceans. You are the ones, the consumers, the people. So what do you think of that? That it's a behavioral issue when it comes to consumers and people like you and me?
Well, that is the narrative that the producers like us to believe. But I think, first of all, recycling plastic is a big fat lie. It's not like recycling aluminium or glass. So it's not possible to recycle plastic, especially not cost efficiently, infinitely. So plastic is what we call downcycled. So that means you cannot make the same quality object out of plastic that you can, for example, make from aluminium. So what happens is, a plastic bottle eventually becomes something like filling material and whatnot, up until it will end up in the landfill again when it's not usable anymore. And producers keep telling us this story because, first of all, they want to keep producing cheap plastic. And second of all, they don't want to pay for the end life of their plastic. So they say, well, it is on us consumers, the way of how we behave, that is the fault, that all the plastic ends up in the environment. And that is actually not true. We're paying for it, but in the end, we would actually have to hold the producers responsible and say, you know what, we don't want your plastic, pack it in something else, or find a way of how this is a closed circuit and it's not ending up in the landfills and else.
Is the problem getting better with global awareness increasing, activism increasing, governments being put under more pressure to do something, manufacturers as well? Or is the problem getting worse?
Well, since plastic is made from petroleum and we have more and more fuel efficient cars, so the petroleum industry actually looks into the plastic market. So they see their future in producing more plastic if they want to stay alive. So from that sense, it's probably going to get worse if there is not something happening. And that is actually already kind of happening in the background. And that is the UN plastic treaty that is negotiated right now. And that is really the first, international treaty that would not only kind of regulate, how certain things are cleaned up and how waste is managed, but it would also hold producers responsible. Because right now, I am not very optimistic that I say the producers are responsible enough that they would make the first step.
Christine, what do you think has to happen for that catalyst, for that seismic change to make things better?
Well, I think it will be a consumer and voter-driven change, because I think this is really what has changed. Awareness has changed. So people are aware that plastic is inherently bad in most cases. Of course, there's applications in medicine and whatnot where we will need plastic, but it's the overuse of plastic, right? And I think a lot of people underestimate as well that we live in a capitalistic world, and that means we are voters, not just in a political party system, but we vote with our money. So every time we purchase something, we support the business that we're purchasing from, the producer that we are buying the product of. So we need to use this consumer power and support the businesses that do things right, and we need to boycott businesses that do or that are unwilling to change and make it, in a better way. And this is really what I think is going to happen, is that we need to become active politically, also as a consumer.
And that moment in time when you pull the straw out of the nostril of the turtle, would you say, Christina, that was an isolated incident? Or in the years preceding that, as you've done your marine biology work with turtles, have you come across more cases of turtles consuming plastic, being caught up in plastic?
The thing in the nose is probably, it's not an isolated incident either, because after the straw, we did find, or people have found, a plastic spoon, a plastic fork in the nose. But plastic and sea turtles already has a very long history. In fact, back in the 70s and 80s, when plastic only, started to emerge, there was already plastic found in the stomachs of sea turtles, of leatherback turtles that were, washed up onto the shore dead and were dissected. And it is known for decades that sea turtles do feed on plastic. We used to think they feed on them because it maybe looks like a jellyfish, a plastic bag looks like a jellyfish. In the meantime, there have been studies that have shown that the longer plastic swims in the ocean, it accumulates a type of biofilm, so like little microorganisms on its surface, and it actually smells of food. So sea turtles very much kind of select plastic because they think it's food. And the estimation is that of all the turtles that we have swimming in our oceans, between 50 and 80% have plastics in their stomach. We have thousands of turtles that do die because they have ingested plastic, because they got entangled in plastic. If we think about industrial fishing nets are made from plastic as well. And even if they don't die because, for example, the plastic obstructs the
This is the World Cleanup Day show coming to you live from Tallinn in Estonia, and I'm joined by the mayor of Tallinn, Yevgeny. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Now you're a brand new mayor. How many months?
Since April the 14th.
How's the job going so far?
It's all right. Of course, there's a lot to do, but we have a determined team, and everything's going fine.
It's good to have a challenge, though, isn't it?
Sure. Being a leader of a Estonian capital is, of course, challenging.
Yeah, and a great European city. But this is a proud day for you, because this incredible movement, global movement, the World Cleanup Day, that has mobilized millions of people in 120 countries, all started here and in this city of Tallinn.
Yes, not thanks to the city of Tallinn, but thanks to a bunch of very ambitious, visionary people who started this movement here in Estonia, and then had the ambition of growing it, making it global. And I think it shows how big changes can start from very small seeds, and I think that Estonia and Estonians are very good in that, not only in terms of world cleanup, but in many other spheres as well.
Is it because Estonia is a small country of only 1 million people that it has to think big and it has to think global?
1.3 million.
1.3. Forgot those 0.3.
Those 0.3 are very important for us. Not big on a global scale, but sure, I think that Estonian people and Estonian society has been very determined to become successful after regaining independence. And of course, we understand that this is only possible if you think globally. Being here rather on the periphery of Europe, close to an aggressive neighbor, of course, we had to succeed. We didn't have any other way. And I think this kind of mentality of making things that are much bigger than our size is something that is very much ingrained in the fabric of our society.
And reaching out and looking for partners and collaborators. I mean, that's part of it as well, that has made the World Cleanup Day so successful.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, we're so small that we cannot achieve much alone. And that's why Estonia has been very, very active in looking for partners on all different levels, be it community level, be it this sort of events, but also in terms of international politics. I mean, we're very active members of the EU, members of NATO, and so on. And this has always been a drive to be successful in building our society, and also, of course, which is very important, I think, to be of a positive sort of use and cooperation for other nations and countries as well. It's not just that we are here very small and you must help us, but it's rather to actually have additional value for the whole world in those things which we do well.
Which is a perfect example of the World Cleanup Day, because it was something that was national, that was helping Estonia by Estonia, and they didn't have to go out and spread this around the world, but because it takes time, it takes resources, it takes money, it takes effort, but it is something that they have spread around the world and now recognized on the UN calendar. What do you think the future is for a movement like this, or what would you like to see happen to the World Cleanup Day?
Well, clearly, when this event started here, then Estonia was in a very different place in terms of understanding the environmental crisis in which we live. And I think that it's only natural that it has now branched out to other countries as well. We have become much more knowing of those aspects here in Estonia. I think that we are on the road to solving those issues more broadly, but obviously we know that the majority of the world's population is still not there. And obviously, I mean, global environmental and climate crisis is one of the examples of where not a single country can achieve results without others doing their fair share. So this common action problem is one of a difficult issues here, and of course, as a result of that, I think it's only not only natural but the only possible way to actually achieve those goals that we have is to work together.
Now, Tallinn is a green city. Last year it was named a green city.
Green capital of Europe.
Green capital of Europe. What does that mean?
It's actually every year one European city is awarded this title, both for what they have achieved thus far, but also in terms of commitment to solving environmental and climate issues. We know that cities are at the forefront of climate fight, because majority of emissions, but also majority of solutions actually are here on the city level. And I think that Tallinn has started rather late in terms of environmental climate policy, also because of our historical background, but we are catching up very fast in this regard. And of course, this Green Capital title was a possibility, first of all, recognition, of course, for what we have achieved, but more importantly, I think for us, it was a possibility for us to mobilize our own population, city government structures to actually work on those issues more systematically.
Now finally, Mayor, we are focusing this year on marine biology and marine pollution. Being here right in the Baltic Sea, what is the city of Tallinn doing to help with the cleanup of pollution on your own coast?
Obviously, I mean, Baltic Sea is one of the most polluted seas in the world.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yes, it's because of our very narrow Danish straits, and a very huge concentration of people around the Baltic Sea. And the majority of the pollution is, of course, man-made. It's mostly agricultural pollution from our fields. It has become somewhat better in terms of additional pollution coming there, but obviously we're very far away from actually being sustainable in terms of how we take care of our common sea. Estonia has and Tallinn, we have actually been working on cleaning up the sea together with other countries, with other cities. We have a cooperation with Helsinki, for example, on those issues. There are many multilateral formats for that as well. And last year, when during the Green Capital, there was an event together with the World Cleanup Organization of cleaning up the Baltic Sea. More than 150,000 people participated in that from about 50 cities around here. And there were many events, and the main, obviously, focus on that is to actually show that a lot of sea pollution is actually not visible. We do see what is on the beaches, the plastic residue and so on, and that is also, of course, a huge problem. But a lot of it is actually invisible. So the whole agricultural waste that flows to our seas and basically has already made parts of the city uninhabitable. Is invisible, and we really do need to change the way we run our agriculture, our economies, our societies, in order for us to be able to sustain normal ecosystems here in the forthcoming years and decades.
It's a big challenge, isn't it?
Yes,
it's a huge challenge with so many different layers and elements involved to try and tackle that and get your head around it.
But it's
also a big task for the city.
It's a big task for the city, and a lot of the changes that are necessary are system level changes that take years to achieve. But what is very important here is that there is a understanding and support of the population for those actions that are taking, because it's resources. It's in some cases might be changes that many people don't like for one or another reason, but they're necessary. And here it's very important that we do engage in a democratic way and make people understand why this is necessary. And especially for that, the World Cleanup Day and similar events are very important, so that people understand and see and feel their impacts in both negative terms, what they have done, but also what we can do together to change it.
It's all interconnected.
Yes.
Yeah. Evgeny, Mayor of Tallinn.
Thank you.
The greenest city in the entire known universe and the best city in the world. I think it's the best city in the world. We can say that. That's official, isn't it?
Almost. Yes,
Come
almost.
on, he's the mayor. And congratulations on your first 6 months, and we wish you success with the rest of your term.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you for joining us on the World Cleanup Day show. You're watching the World Cleanup broadcast coming live from Tallinn in Estonia. We still have many more countries to check in with as we follow the green wave right across the planet. We'll be right back with more right after this short break.
Dear friends, a very warm welcome from Bonn, Germany. I'm Marina Ponti, the Global Director of the UN SDG Action Campaign, which is a special initiative of the UN Secretary General mandated to engage, campaign, and catalyze positive change towards the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm delighted to address the inspiring Let's Do It World Global Network and the various other organizations and millions of volunteers that are coming together during this year World Cleanup on 20 September to catalyze societal change towards a more sustainable future. First, I want to congratulate you for successfully advocating for World Cleanup Day to officially become part of the UN calendar. This is a testament to the remarkable impact all of you have made by mobilizing millions of people around the world to tackle the climate change, biodiversity, and waste management crisis. This is also why World Cleanup Day was one of the winners of the 2023 edition of the UN SDG Action Awards, and this is why we continue to be very proud of your work. The accelerating climate emergency and the sheer amount of waste generated every single day as part of the economic system that squanders resources and destroys our environment can feel overwhelming. But at the UN SDG Action Campaign, we believe that every action counts, whether it is big or small, local or global. The world is ours, now and tomorrow. Each day, with each choice, we create the world to come, starting with the most important choice, to hope. Hope is not naive, hope is brave, hope is action without delay. Together, we can work towards a world where people in all of their diversity can thrive and our magnificent planet continues to nurture life as we know it. I wish all of you a very successful 2024 World Cleanup Day and applaud you for taking action for our common future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marina Ponti. She is the director of the UN SDG, and that was her video message from the United Nations. Now, we are continuing to our next country. We are going to the beautiful city of Istanbul and to Turkey. Take a look at this. Oh, we have our live interview first before we have our video. That's even better. Good afternoon, Turkey. How are you? I'm very good, and now even better because we have a little video clip from Turkey, but we're going to show that after you, showing some of the beautiful scenes from last year's cleanup. Where are you at the moment, and what is happening there?
At the moment, I'm in Konya, Turkey, one of the biggest cities in Turkey, both as a population and as a territory. we have the special event in here with the municipality of Selçuklu, and currently we finished our event in here in Konya, and then we are going to move to Ankara for tomorrow event, which will be held in Ankara as well. The both Estonian ambassador of Ankara will join, and many other politicians will join our Ankara events. So currently, but I'm in Konya, Selçuklu.
And tell me, what are some of the issues when you are talking about waste and key?
I'm sorry, but I can't you hear very well. It's
no problem. I was just asking, what are some of the issues when you're talking about waste and pollution in Turkey? What are some of the biggest problems?
Yeah, actually, as we know that Turkey is one of the pioneer countries of the zero waste philosophy. So as a we have many management system for the waste, but unfortunately we have many landscape areas which is a huge of the garbage. That's why currently the society is trying to fight against this waste and garbage in all over the Turkey. On the other side, we are trying to implement zero waste policy. But we have also many educational program in the Turkey about the waste management. So today's event we have also one of the training on the waste management, and now we collect our garbage from the nature. It was really perfect. And in all over the Turkey, we are in more than 350 locations to clean up our environment.
So 150 locations, that's impressive, right across Turkey. How many people have you seen take part in previous years, and how many are you expecting this year?
Actually, last year we are about 30,000 people around the Turkey. This year we are expecting to reach 50,000 people because last year we just organized even in the Saturday, but this year our events starting from yesterday, and also we have many events today, tomorrow, Sunday, and the next Monday. That's why this year our cleanup events will be take 5 days. It was really important issue to organizing 5 days events for World Cleanup Day. And also in the Turkey, as you know that after World Cleanup Day added on the UN calendar day, the all municipalities starting to organize their own World Cleanup Day activities on the coordination with us. That's why the number will be duplicate with the previous year.
Well, thank you so much for that update from Turkey, and we wish you well with the rest of your cleanup for this year's World Cleanup Day. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you soon.
And we're going to stick with Turkey at the moment and show you some images of what he has been talking about. This is from previous years of how they have mobilized so many people. 30,000 last year, looking at 50,000 this year. And just here is a taste of what they do. And every way that I can, I'll try to make it. That's a Turkish Eurovision song. Won the Eurovision for Turkey 2004, I think it was. Anyway, we are just going to take a little break here on the World Cleanup Day show, coming live from Tallinn in Estonia. Look, it's us. We're on TV. Is there a delay? Look at that. That's wild. Look at that. Whoa. Anyway, we have lots more still to come throughout the day. More countries to check in with as we follow the wave going across the planet. Already we've checked in with countries like Australia, Saudi Arabia, Iran. We've checked in with countries closer here to Europe as they've started to clean, but we still have lots to go right across to the United States. Please do join us. Share these links on social media, and we'll be back in around 1 hour's time exactly for the rest of the World Cleanup Day. We'll talk to you then.